Okay, so we don't have a lot of time. We've got a shortened, abbreviated show. I was told that we had to be off in 22 minutes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so here
We're
we
going
go.
to jump into it. We had a whole great conversation already on the first Facebook Live that you all missed. It was the best content we've ever put out.
It actually was. May have been some words not for TV that were uttered, but we're back. We're happy to be here, and we want to make this work. So, we were on a hiatus for a week because audio didn't work, and we were almost on hiatus for another week because audio didn't work. But we're back now. We figured out a few things, and we need to talk about our weekends.
We both went on vacation. I think that always happens when we come back from vacation, right?
Would you call it a vacation?
Yours for sure.
No,
and I'm calling mine a vacation.
You really, but no, I don't know about that.
Okay, why not?
It was. This is a good question. What is a vacation? Is it more than? See, to me, a vacation would be like 5 days or more. That's a vacation, because a lot of times you'll get 3-day weekends, but I don't consider a 3-day weekend a vacation. And I was gone, and I was only gone 2 days.
Okay.
For a total of 4 days, but that was the weekend intertwined. So I don't feel like I don't think I can call it a vacation.
Okay.
A quick getaway, I would say.
Okay.
A getaway.
We
call
were
it a
gone
getaway.
for the same amount of time. You had more days off than I did. I'm calling mine a vacation. Jeff, though, went to Chicago.
I did
not have a vacation, a quick trip.
It wasn't what?
A quick trip.
Oh, you said quick trip. I thought no. Yeah, drove up to Chicago. My wife had some business there.
Yeah.
And so she flew up earlier
Chi-town.
in the week. Don't call it Chi-town. Don't.
I only call it that because it drives him insane.
You don't call it Chi-town, and you don't call it the Windy City.
And you call them both all the time.
I don't. I used to, and then I lived there for a while, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to get asked.
I keep getting...
I was being asked to leave the city.
Yeah,
I keep saying that. So anyway, my wife had some business there. She flew up earlier in the week, and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to drive up and hang out with you for a few days. So I drove up on Friday. Mm-hmm. Easy drive, 10 hours. And then she booked a one-way ticket, and then we just drove back Monday.
Easy drive, 10 hours.
It is easy. It's not hard. It's actually driving to Chicago is not difficult. They've even made the Kansas City-Chicago Expressway, which is what I took.
You did a lot of really cool things. I like that I am stuck on the drive.
That was part of the fun, though. Because we got to see, I made a little pit stop on the way back. One of my favorite movies is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Mm-hmm. There's an iconic scene in the movie where they're at a motel in Kansas, mm-hmm. but it's not in Kansas. It's a Sun. Well, now it's the Sun Motel, and it's just south of Joliet, mm-hmm. Illinois. Briarwood, I think, is the town. It's literally where they shot the scene is right off the highway. It's 30 seconds. You take an exit. And so for 5 years, I was driving past this, and I didn't even know it. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. So we made a stop there, and then we just took our time getting back.
I've also been on road trip with you where you say we will not be making extra stops for bathrooms or snacks, so get what you need at the road trip stop. So for you to say
I did.
We're going to pull off to the side of the road is a big deal.
I took my time. We took some pictures. Yeah. It was kind of fun. And then we got back last night around... We would have been back earlier, but we love Brahms. So my wife likes ice cream, so we swung into Brahms in Emporia, and we kind of took our time there, and then
that's fun.
Got home about 10:30, maybe.
Just in time to catch the rest of the newscast.
Wanted to see the last 5 minutes of you saying goodnight. But it was a good time. I don't have time to obviously talk about all of it. But where did you go? Because I have a feeling I know where you went, but I don't know where you went.
My sister was in town. She got in town last Wednesday. She is still in town now.
I know where you went.
And we went up to Kansas City.
Right.
So it was so much fun. We got to do so many cool things, go to all these different places. Mm-hmm. And it was just a really good time. Her boyfriend is here for a conference speaking and in Kansas City. So she came out to stay with me for the week. We all went up there, and it was just a really good time.
What did you see? Because you've been to Kansas City quite a lot lately.
Yeah.
And I'm just like curious, what new things were you able to watch?
We did a lot of different restaurants. They are definitely foodies. So they had to try Kansas City barbecue.
Okay.
They did Slaps barbecue. I don't know if you've had that.
No.
They did Jack Stack, and then we also did hand rolls at Katanori, and that was amazing.
So literally, you just eat your whole time.
Eat rooftop bars. We did the market down by the Riverwalk. We got to see the KC Current Stadium. They did a bike tour. It was just, and the weather was gorgeous.
I'm trying to do something that you told me that you guys do. It's just really interesting. And you mentioned this, I think, on the last podcast, where you loiter.
Yes.
So I talked to my wife about that. Like,
I love that.
It was kind of hard to explain because it's like, do you just keep ordering stuff, or do you, like, how does that work?
How did it work for you?
You guys don't know what I'm talking about is well, you discussed it. You go in and you just enjoy the restaurant, not just for the meal, but you sit there, you take in the ambiance, you look at be
intentional about sitting there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, to just enjoy the experience was kind of what we talked about. So what we'll do is maybe order an appetizer at first or your drinks and sit there and enjoy that. Don't place, you come in and you place the order for everything. And so we'll sit there and enjoy it. So I'm really curious how it worked for you guys.
I think we kind of did a mix of that. Like we were intentional because we tried. When I go to Chicago, I like to stay and shop and dine and recreate in the neighborhoods.
Yes.
And not necessarily what some people think of Chicago, which is Michigan Avenue and the tall buildings and,
but you
Navy
lived there
Pier.
For people who don't.
I lived there for quite some time.
Yeah.
And so I was thankfully kind of discovered the joys of all of these wonderful, beautiful little neighborhoods. And I think there are 77 of them or something. It might be more than that. So we were in a neighborhood with the Logan Square neighborhood, and I've never been to the Logan Square neighborhood, and that's where we stayed. And so for me, it was all new, even though I'd lived there for several years. But I'd heard of some of these things, but the restaurant deal, home run. You cannot go wrong, period. And I'm talking about local places, I'm talking about like where the people who live there eat. And it was so good. And the service and the food and the quality and the atmosphere it's incredible. It's just, you can't match it.
So did you sit and loiter?
I did for a little bit. Sometimes we had to loiter before we got seated because it was because you had to wait.
Yes. But even being intentional about
that was
enjoying
great.
that.
Yes. No, that was great too.
Yeah.
So it was great. We walked, I think in 2 days, I walked 20 miles total, checked out the 606 trail, which is this beautiful, it's a park, but it's a trail. I think it was an old train track, but it's 2.5 miles or something like that from like the Humboldt Park neighborhood all the way to Wicker Park, I think. But that doesn't mean anything to a lot of you. Anyway, it was a fun experience. Was
there one thing that was your favorite?
Ooh, I think my wife asked me that. That's a good question. I think it was the whole trip, because things happened on this trip that I didn't expect would happen. And I'll tell you an example of what happened. So we went down to Wrigley Field. The Cubs were playing, but we didn't go in. We didn't plan on going to a ball game, but we went to Wrigley Field just to hang out while the game was going on because it's kind of cool. And I'm a big Cubs fan. It was kind of fun. I looked like a Cubs idiot and all my Cubs stuff. But every time we go to Wrigley, we like to go into like the little shops around Wrigley and buy more Cubs crap. So we're at the game, but I'm not in the game. We're walking around and I go into a store right across from the Wrigley Field. Just right across the street on Addison. And I'm in the store and I hear the games are on and they're like, okay, now to sing the 7th inning stretch, which is a big deal at a Cubs game. A lot of celebrities will sing the 7th inning stretch. 1, 2, it's Take Me Out to the Ball Game. They're not singing this, they're singing during the 7th inning stretch. They go, now here to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game is Mike Lowe. Who works at WGN, and I know Mike's a good friend of mine, and I'm in this store, and it's a surreal moment. I'm standing there with like this overpriced jersey I'm about to buy, and I look up on the big screen. He's like, a 1, a 2, and I'm mesmerized by this. Like, what are the chances that a buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, is singing this song at it? I was just blown away. The reason for it, they were honoring Ryan Sandberg, who passed away from cancer a few days prior, last week. Mike Lowe is a cancer survivor who actually was in treatment with Ryan Sandberg. And he documented, you can look it up, People magazine did a story on Mike and all these other things. He's a wonderful man. And but to see him sing this, and I'm standing there, I'm like, this is so surreal for me. And anyway, so that was a moment that stood out. And then just time with my wife. We had movie night every night, and we walked, and we just had a wonderful time. And we have a lot of friends up there, but we didn't communicate with any of them, not because they're not good people. We just spent the weekend enjoying the city with ourselves.
Yeah.
And so that was always fun. That was a great moment.
And you do love Chicago, so it's fun to go.
It's hard not to love that city.
Yeah.
It really is. So what was your favorite part of
I think absolutely spending time with my sister. I feel so blessed that, we talk a lot about, right, the sacrifices that come with this job. And so I think my family does a great job to also kind of meet me wherever I'm living in order to then not have to sacrifice either. So a standout would be dinner at Katanori, which was this fun hand roll place. And I think people here, I tell people, I live in Kansas. And I think maybe there's a perception, right? If you've never been to Kansas or you don't know. And so when everyone got to come, so it was this beautiful restaurant in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if you've ever had hand rolls. They're really large. They look like sushi rolls, but you eat them with your hands. An authentic restaurant. They're made right in front of you, and they're made to order. So all of it's fresh, and it's just this really unique experience. There was this beautiful kind of lounge area that we got to experience. And so that was really fun, but it was really fun to show off Kansas and show off our city and show off Wichita. And then, of course, my parents, they love, there's a store here, the Spice Merchant that
yeah, I'm familiar with that store.
Do they, I don't know the terminology for it, but for the coffee.
Grind the beans?
They make essentially, and I'm going to butcher what they do, but they make their own coffee, right? So there's a specific flavor, and my parents said, we need you to bring us back 4 pounds of this one particular type.
So you're a coffee mule now.
So now my sister's a coffee mule, but I love all of that because I love that my parents have been here so many times. They say, we need you to bring us back the coffee. I love that my sister came out and I got to show her these really cool things that we have in the state. And then I love, I love the time. I feel so blessed to have that. So.
We stumbled upon Italian ice.
Yeah.
It's a big thing in Chicago in some neighborhoods. We had a little Italian ice place out of the side of a building. Just out of a random building in a neighborhood. Like you're not in an area, and we kind of caught onto that. We'd hit that up a couple times, like on the walk. And but I like what you're saying about just that homemade, local, hyper local thing, and that's what I love. What I enjoy wherever I go. But you said something interesting as we gloat about these other two cities. The one thing that I think is really, when you said you love to be a tourist in your own city, which is, I think that's such a wonderful thing, and something that I should probably be more. I'm trying to be more like that. I've lived here pretty much my entire life. I wouldn't say I'm the best tourist of my hometown, which is, I'm just admitting that. Like, you've been to the zoo, I've been to the zoo, but really I need to get back to the zoo. I haven't been in a while.
Yeah.
And there's other things around. There are other things in Wichita and in Kansas, and we learned this on the road trip, that are just as fascinating, just as amazing, just as wonderful as some of these things that you get in these other cities like Chicago or Kansas City.
I'm so proud to live here, and I think that is, I will tell people I have a little bit of a bird's eye view of Kansas as a state, because I think if you're in it, like you just mentioned, if you've been to the zoo, you don't feel like you need to go back, or the Cosmosphere. These are all places where I have made my family come with, and I'm so proud of it. But then I also struggle with the idea of I don't want to tell people, because I also like that it's not overcrowded.
Right. You talk about how small of a world it is. We stumbled into, when I lived there, I went to this one establishment that I happened to live next door to, and I got to be pretty good friends with the proprietor and the manager, the owner. And every time we go back to Chicago, we like to peek our head in there. We spent so much time in there when we lived there. It's a place called Commonwealth. It's at the corner of Damon and Roscoe in Roscoe Village. If you make the trip, look them up. Anyway, we stumble in there, and we're venturing. So we're not like staying. We're not like going in there and hanging out. Like we're on the move. Like 2 days, we're on the move. And I get up to the bar, and we're just having what did I order? An iced tea or something. My wife had a water, And there's a guy sitting next to me, and he had been there a while. He was a younger guy, about 30 years old. And he's watching, I forgot what was on, but he was watching pickleball on his phone. Anyway, he starts talking, and everything. He's like, oh, I live down. He's talking to the bar, the guy, the bartender, and yeah, you make small talk. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? And we're like, yeah, I used to live next door, and I was here for years. I would come in here all the time. And he's like, I do that now. I just live down as, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, where'd you go to college and stuff? What do you do? He's like, Jayhawks, KU. Oh. And I'm like, oh, well, my son goes to K-State. And he looked at me, he goes, yeah, I thought we were going to be friends. And he didn't say another word to me the whole time. He did, but it was just
deep.
But it was just kind of a small. It's just interesting
world.
that you meet. There's a lot of KU people up in Chicago, but it was just kind of cool. So we did that, and then moseyed on out of there to the next stop.
Yeah. And I don't know if you remember, which is really funny, when I went on a family trip to Alaska, and the amount of people I ran into from Kansas, one specifically that said, we walked into the store, and he made some joke about Oklahoma, and then he said, well, where are you from? And I said, Kansas. He said, oh my gosh, I went to school in Eureka. And I was so excited to come back and tell you about it.
I spent a lot of time in Eureka.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of time. Yeah. So that's just and the guy lives in Alaska, which is really, really cool.
But so many things like that it is a small world. And so to sit next to the guy, maybe you're not going to talk to him, right? Jayhawk, but.
Well, I mean, my son goes to K-State, but I grew up a KU fan, so. And I went to Wichita State. I'm kind of one of those Kansas fans that you like who wins.
Yes, yeah. Well, you have covered every sport, every team.
Yeah.
Corey has asked a couple questions, so I'm going to read them to you, and then I'm going to let us answer. Have you ever been to the park in Wichita, Kansas? Which one would be your favorite? When was the best thing at Wrigley Field to see baseball team, the Cubs, and everything? Being with family, Julia being with family this past week, everything. What was your favorite thing to do with them? And what do you like about going back to Chicago where you used to live?
Best park in Wichita? I'm an O.J. Watson Park guy. I grew up on the south side of Wichita, and I spent a lot of time at Watson Park. And I think it's an underrated park. I really think O.J. Watson Park doesn't get the love that it deserves. I drove by it the other day. I still think it's a wonderful little park. And I had a lot of memories there. Riding ponies and playing miniature golf. So I really enjoy it. I know, hey, listen, Sedgwick County Park's awesome. All those parks are really, Wichita does a great job with their parks. I like O.J. Watson Park. What was the other question?
What did you like about living in Chicago?
Oh, the people. I love the city. It's an energy. It's an energy that you just don't get anywhere else. And even though it's a big, intimidating city, if you've never been there, the people there are really, really, really nice and helpful. And also the best thing about Wrigley Field is everything. You just have to go and experience. It's not a baseball experience. It's really is a historic. I don't know. It's it's just like one of those things. Even if you don't like baseball, just go once. The shops, the history, the architecture, it's just everything is really, really worthwhile. It's worth it. It's a little pricey to get in.
But it's an experience
it's
beyond baseball.
It transcends baseball.
Yeah,
by far.
I would say the nature preserve, and I don't know that that's technically a park.
I like that. No, I know what you're saying.
I love the nature preserve in Northeast Wichita. When I first moved here, I was there all the time, and I still am there probably once a week. I love walking there. I love that you can see deer and wildlife, and they do a really good job to upkeep that park. That's my favorite. And then I would say best part about being with family would be is the laughter. We laugh a lot, and I think that's always the best.
Like your face hurts, you laugh so much. Like that's when you know. Oh, is your stomach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the cheeks, right? When your cheeks hurt.
That's what I'm saying. When you know you've had a good time, when like your face hurts. Yeah. Because you're laughing so much.
My mom, me and my sister are all like silent laughers. So when something is like truly, truly funny, it's dead silent and no audio is coming out. So I think that's just the funniest thing.
Okay.
When all of us are quiet, but we're all gasping for air, we know it's really funny.
Good questions. Thank you.
Yeah.
We hope that we can get this podcast up and running again.
I was going to say we started on such, energy because we just could not get the audio to work, and I'm seeing our energy levels slowly deplete.
Oh, right now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, you get excited because we love this. We love this half hour that we want to extend to 45 minutes eventually,
Yes.
and maybe an hour.
When the
but
audio works for sure.
It's just like you get so excited, and then you have a technical problem, and you're just like, it just sucks the life out of you.
I think it's part of it, right? And I think that's the funny thing of you and I get mad about technical issues because we want it to be perfect.
Yes.
And it's funny of how many comments we got before of people trying to help us to figure it out, to say, oh, no, we can hear you now. And so we, at one point, you had referred to it as kind of like a fireside chat. And it is becoming that we just get to come and hang out with our friends, and that's cool.
People would like, unplug it, plug it back in. Yeah. It'll work.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on again?
Well, we are out of time.
Yes.
Okay. Well, listen, we will be back tomorrow. And if we don't have audio, we'll just... little sign language
like
or something?
The cue
subtitles
cards.
or like closed captioning? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Watch out. You get too close.
That's how we're going to end it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.